Enjoy the view. Hello, guys. Yeah. Hello, 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 and welcome to another live class for today. Hello, guys, and welcome to our live class for today. Okay, welcome. If you can hear me, thank you. Waila evening. Thank you so much for always joining. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. So good evening and welcome. That's my hairstay. Yeah, so let's see. Peace. Thank you so much. Hello, good evening. So, guys, in today's tutorial, so we're cutting a new tutorial. I think the last tutorial we cut was actually this overbust so I have not been able to complete it. God help me. God help me. So I was supposed to come on live and then show you guys how to add the back, how to add the corset back. So that was just like it was literally remaining, and I've been so busy. I have not even been able to. I was doing another project. Thank you so much, Waila. Good evening, ma. Alex. Good evening. Hi, madam, and good Kelechi. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Okay. So in today's tutorial, so like I said, like on those of you that don't know, we have decided to be doing sewing um and that sewing live streams is usually during the weekdays. So I'm still trying so much to get a time, but I think I am going to settle for either 12 or 1 p.m. I think I will settle for 1 p.m. So it's going to be like for 1.5 hours. That's like 1 to like 2 o'clock thereabout. Okay. So, but what I'm trying to do, I'm not sure if I'll be able to be doing it every day. So I'm just still trying to work something to get a fixed time. So I will tell you guys this is the time, okay? And then these are the days that we're going to be coming up. That I'm going to be coming up with sewing. So the sewing basically is whatever we did or live pattern. We'll do the pattern drafting in the evenings and then we'll do the sewing. So it's not all of them though. So you can see this is what we're learning how to see. It is a cross top, but can you see the way this cross is not that cross that ends here? The cross stopped at the center. Can you see? Take a good look at it. You can see it stopped at the center. So that's what I'll show you guys how to do today. This is a very beautiful and simple, easy pattern. Okay. So, like I said, it is not all of our streams that we're going to be sewing. You understand? So you guys please don't get me wrong. So what we are going to be doing, so I'm just trying to adjust my camera at this point. If you are just joining us, you're welcome. Please let me know where you're watching from. I would appreciate. I want to know where you're watching me from, okay? So let me know where you're watching me from. So for this, we're actually going to be making use of just one pattern. So that same one part is what we're going to use for the back and the front. It is a simple process, okay? So now the first thing we're going to do, let's draft that one simple pattern. So guys, you're welcome. Let me know where you're watching me from. I would appreciate that. And you guys should please like video. I would appreciate it, okay? You guys should please like my video. So drop all of your questions, okay? So when I come up, when I finish, I'll raise my head. I will answer all of your questions, okay? So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to mark a straight line. So basically what we're doing now is a simple basic body. So when it comes to basic bodies, it cannot be overemphasized when it comes to fashion. Please learn how to do your base bodies. It is a simple process, okay? So we have a first line here, which is a start line. We're going to call that line our shoulder line. So we should just measure it, right? SD, that's shoulder line. You can write SL, depends on what you want. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to come to this part. We're going to measure our bust point, okay? So for the bust point, we're going to do 10 inches. That's from the shoulder. Can you see now? From the shoulder to bust point is 10 inches, and then the under bust is 13. The waist, I'm making use of 16 inches, and then the full length of the blouse, we're going to make use of 23 inches. You can see it is a little bit long. So the next thing we're going to do now, all of these lines, we're going to draw them. Like I said, and I always say, if you are finding it difficult to understand pattern drafting, just make sure that you are always hooked to Stylish Naija live classes. It's that it's just a matter of time. You are going to become very perfect. I assure you, very perfect. It is not a big deal. For those of you that have been, it's not a big deal. When it comes to sewing, once you have it in your heart, it's just a matter of time. So don't think that it is difficult. No, don't ever say it is difficult. It's just you're just say you are advancing. You understand? You are learning. It's not difficult. You are coming up gradually. So the word of God says you shall have what you say. So don't really say it is difficult. Just say I'm just finding around it. So that's a better word to say. Okay, so this is our let me not continue preaching. So this was our bust point, our under bust, our waist, and then this is our full length. Okay. So, like I said, this is a very easy, simple pattern. The next thing we're going to come to this point, we're going to mark our shoulder. So let's measure all of the dimensions we're going to be using. Our shoulder is 14. Our bust, we're going to use 40, and then our under bust, we're going to use 36. Our waist, we're going to use 40, and then our hem, we're going to use 44. Yes, I'm just trying to check to make sure that this my measurement is realistic. Oh, there are some measurements that are not realistic. You guys don't know. So let's mark our shoulder. We come to the shoulder line. You mark your shoulder. You divide this shoulder measurement. You divide it into two. Okay, and then you're going to add 7. Then add half of an inch, and then from that half inch, you're going to come down by 1 inch like this. Can you see? I just used a dot to indicate that, and then I'm going to connect that line. So you just really connect it to the shoulder line. Okay, then from that line you're going to take your armhole, your round armhole. So how do you measure your round armhole? This is round armhole, your armpit. So you're going to divide your measurement into 2. Okay, let's see. Ahi Bala, hi, good evening, I'm watching from Ghana, thank you so much. Boss said they say good evening. I'm watching from Lagos State. Wow, thank you. Alex Park, you're watching from Ghana. I can see. Thank you so much for stopping by. Biko, good evening, Mama. I'm watching from Benin City. Ah, my people, well done. Ada Obi said hi. Alex Park, okay, hi, madam. Good evening. Okay, Kelechi, good evening. Waila, good evening. So let's continue, okay? Yes. So the next thing from this point, so half of my armhole is 8 inches. So I'll mark 8 inches here, like that, and then I will connect it. So, like I said, I'm telling you guys that we're going to be doing sewing live streams, and it's going to be 1 p.m. on Mondays. Mondays is confirmed. Tuesdays not yet confirmed. Wednesdays, okay. So we're going to start in full swing. You guys should just please give me a little bit of time, okay. So the next thing I'm going to do from this point, I'm going to take half of this. So coming by half of an inch or quarter of an inch. So while I'm marking this, I'm using this pattern for 2. That is why I'm doing this, okay. If not, I would have just marked it normal. So from that point, I'm going to connect my armhole that way. And then the next thing now, we're going to take our full body measurement. So for the full body measurement, this is where the marana is going to be. But I'll show you guys, we're going to use this pattern for 2. So let's continue. So the next measurement we're going to take out our full body measurement. So our full body measurement, our bust is 40. So I'll add 40 divided by 4. I have 10 inches. I'm going to take out 2 inches of that. for it. Do you understand? So 2 inches, I'm doing a shoulder dart, and then I'll add my stitching allowance. I'll come to my under bust here. I'll divide that into two. I'll mark it, and then I'll add my 2 inches for my dart, and then I'll add my stitching allowance. I'll come to my waist here. I'll divide that into four. I'll mark it here, and then I'll add my dart intake, and then add my stitching allowance. And then I'll come to the hem, that's the blouse hem or blouse waist. I'll divide that 44 into four. I'll mark it here. I'll add my dart and then add my stitching allowance. So for the stitching allowance for the down part, I'm adding about 3 inches. So when I'm done, I'm going to connect all of these lines like this, okay? So I'll mark this like this. So I'm going to show you guys the next thing I am going to do. I want to take out my dart. So I want to use this pattern for both back and front. So I'll show you the two that I'm going to take. So the first thing before I continue, I'm going to take out my bust span, which is one nipple point to another. I'll divide that 8 into 4. Sorry, 8 into 2. And then you can see I marked it. And then I'm just going to connect this with a straight line like this, okay? So after connecting it straight like this with a straight line, the next thing I want to do, I want to mark out my dart if I'm going to use 1 inch of for the back pattern. So this one is for the back pattern. So I'll take half of an inch to my right and then half of an inch to the left, okay? And then when I am done, I'll just connect them like this. So this is for my back pattern, okay? So note, this is for my back pattern. So for the front pattern, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come to this top first. Let's mark out our neckline, okay? So for the neckline, we're going to use 3 inches. You can see it is not a very wide neckline. I'll mark it 3 inches here, and then I'm going to come down by 2 inches, okay? So I'll use 3 by 2 inches, which is okay. Depends on how close you want that to be. So this is going to be for the back. The next thing I'm going to do, I want this to be a shoulder dart. So I'm going to come to this point. I'll check what I have here. I'll divide that into two. I'll just mark it, and then I'm going to connect it with a straight ruler. So as I'll connect it to that point like that, okay? So the next thing I want to do now, because I want to use this pattern for my front piece, I'm going to come to this point. So I want to mark out my dart for my front piece. Can you see what I did? I came back afresh. I'm going to mark my 2 inches. Remember, we used 2 inches when we were marking our dart. So from that point, I'm going to connect that 2 inches to that bust point area like this. So I'll connect it like that, and then I am going to bring it down, okay? So when I'm bringing it down, I'm not going to come down, even though as I was doing the allowance, I was adding 2 inches, but for my down piece, I'll just reduce by half of an inch. I'll come down by half 1.5. That's the dart for the down is 1.5. So that's it. So I hope you understand my pattern. So I want to use this pattern for both back and front. So this one is front, this is back, and then this is front, okay? So you can see it is a very simple process. So the next thing we're going to do now, let's cut out our pattern, okay? So I'm going to show you guys how to go about this. So before we do that, the side, we want to shape our side. So for the side, I'm going to come up by inches. I'll mark it this way like this. So this is just like basically all of this our new trendy styles, how we shape them. Okay, so you just mark it and then just give that curve. Can you see? So this gives it a beautiful curve at the down. So for those of you that are just joining us, you're welcome. Let me know where you're watching me from. You guys should please like this video, please. Pretty please like this video, okay? So now we're going to cut this out. So you can see, like I said, this is a beautiful pattern. So I'll cut this like this, and then so for those of you, shoulder that is a very beautiful pattern. This particular shoulder that It's a beautiful pattern, okay? So you can see, can you see my pattern? You can see my pattern already. It is so beautiful, okay? So the next thing I am going to do now, I want to use, oh, I can't use this pattern for my front piece. I just realized that now. I can't use it for the front piece. I need the front piece, so the only way I can use, I'll use it for the front piece. If it's okay. All right, he entered now. All right, going to cut it. So the only thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add to the down part of this. I'm going to explain what just happened. I know that some of you will be wondering, like, what happened? Yes, what happened is that when you are making this cross pattern, you need your full pattern. So that is what happened. You actually need your full pattern. You understand? For you to be able to achieve it. People know that I used one-sided pattern. So I just realized as I was about cutting, that was when I realized that I just remembered that I could not actually not use a one-sided pattern. Okay. So that is why I am trying. So basically what I'm just trying to do now is for me to increase my pattern. That's to make it double-sided pattern. So that's just basically what I am trying to do. Okay. So I'll take this like this, and then I am going to, can you see? You see that I entered. Thank God that it entered. Just a little bit that did not enter. So I'm going to shape in it. So in case you don't understand what is going on here. So basically what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to adjust. At this point, I'm trying to adjust my pattern, okay? So now just ignore the size. So I'm taking that, basically I'm taking out the whole allowance. So that's what I did. I took out the whole allowance. So I no longer have allowance. So just once still follow the same way I drafted it to do your draft, okay? Yes. So now I have my pattern. So I want to mark all of my lines. So that's the beauty of pattern drafting. Like I always used to say, the beauty of pattern drafting is that you can always adjust, you can always adjust. So I'm just trying to get my points back because I need them. So that's my bust point, my under bust, and then my waist, okay? So that's just basically what I am trying to do. Just watch. So fast, fast, fast. I'm repeating the pattern up there, okay? So I'll just take out the bust pan. Even myself, I don't tire. People don't think it's only you. So I'll just connect it that way, okay? And then from that point, I'll come to this point. I took out my neckline, okay? So that's 3 inches. I used 3 by 2, remember? Okay. So why this is because, like I said, I want to. So from this point, I'll just check the middle, the same way, the same thing. The pattern is still the same size, okay? And then I'll connect this like this to this point. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is just for me to take out my bust, my under bust. So this is my under bust, and then I'll mark my 2 inches. Remember these 2 inches we added, so just mark it here like this. You can see it's a simple process, and then you connect it like this. So just use this to connect it like this, okay? So once you connect it, that's that. And then remember for the down, you remember I reduced the down, my dart at this down point, I reduced it by 1.5 instead of 2. So I just marked it, and then I would just roll this like this. Simple. So that's all, that's it. Chicana. So that's it for that. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to cut. I want to cut open my pattern. I wish I have a tracing wheel. So basically this one, just ignore this. So you understand? Excuse me, since I did not use again, so just ignore that. So this is our back pattern. So our back pattern, you are cutting your back pattern one like this. So this is for the back. You can see both of them are the same before you now alter the front pattern. So that's that. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. So I'm going to open this up now, and then we're going to extend our lines. Okay, so like I said I wish I had a tracing wheel. So that's something I'm going to get. I would have traced on this. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to see. Maybe I'll use my pencil. Okay, let's just ignore it. Let's open up and let's do our do. So this is our neckline. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do now, let me show you guys how to alter this. So you're going to open up your pattern and then you're going to check. Can you see that the neck is a V neckline? Can you see? It is a V neckline. Then you see the way the V came and then ended just by the side. So I'm going to be working with, this is our dart line. So all of these lines here, please ignore them. So this is our dart line, you understand? So our V is going to start from here. Let me show you guys. So the V is going to start from here. So let me use my pencil so you can see. It's going to start from here like this. Can you see what I am doing? So I'll show you guys so you can see it came and then came and then ended on this exact line like this. I hope you guys can see what I am trying to do. So this one, basically, you are the one that would, you just use your sense to do it. So make sure you are taking it from the edge of the neckline. You understand? You're taking it from that edge of that neckline. And then it comes like this. And then it's going to end here like this. Okay. So that's all that we need for our pattern piece. Okay. So the next thing I want to do, I want to this bust here, I want to it to enter this side. You understand? That my dart. I want it to enter that side. So that is why I'm trying to do this. So like I said, I wish I had a tracing wheel. It would have been easier for me. I would have just traced it and then I'll just mark it out. Okay. So I'm seeing it. Oh, I'm seeing it. Yeah. So I've seen it. So why am I doing this? So that I'll retain that bust here. But if you don't want it to have cups, that's, you can just leave it like that. So I've achieved that. You see, you even see the worst part is that I did it on the wrong side. Child, God have mercy. Have mercy on me today. Thank God that this one at least is showing. Yeah, so like I said, that's the beauty of pattern drafting. When you know how to draft pattern, all these ones are going to be piece cake for you. Okay. All right. So you can say I have my bust here on this side and on this side also. Yes. So now we're going to cut off this side is not, we're not using this side again. So let me mark this one properly. So I'm just trying to elongate it to bring it out So I don't even think there is need. So let's just cut this off. So you can see the way my pattern is. Can you see? I should use, let me use my marker pen so that you can see it properly. See the shape. Can you see the shape it took? And then it terminated at the dot line. Okay, so please note, depends on, if not, it's not going to cover the way that one is. And then I'm going to cut, so I'll cut this off like this. So this one now is useless. So this is the pattern that we are going to cut on our, we're going to get another piece that is double, you understand, and then you're going to fold it. So now you can see, now you see our bustier pattern now, you see the beauty of this now. So you can now place this and then you will cut out two pattern. So using this, so now I can decide to now pieces my pattern, do you understand, if I wanted to have a bustier. So you can see my bustier pattern. Okay, so let's cut. First of all, we'll cut it out and then I'll show you, and then before I take it out. Okay, so now you are going to place this here and then you are going to cut it. That's, now this is your actual fabric piece. Now at this point, this is your actual fabric piece. You are folding it into two, you understand, and then you are going to cut. Okay, so if you don't want your dress, if you don't want it to have cups, you can decide to just cut it that way. Okay, yes, you can see how beautiful this is. So I'm going to show you first before I pieces it. That's before I take out the bustier part. Okay, so this is how it is going to look. Can you see? No, let me use my piece so that I'll be able to see it properly. So at this point now, you can see how it is terminating. So at this point now, you are going to determine if you want it more. So this kind of pattern, this kind of cross pattern, there's no way it's going, you are going to wear a camisole inside. Can you see how covered it is? You can see it covered very well because it's terminated at the dart area. You can see how well covered it is. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and use your pattern, if you don't want to add the cups, you can do that. But because this one is a bustier pattern, we are going to place this like this. Okay, so this is your pattern. So when you're transferring to your fabric, you fold your fabric into two and then you cut. You saw the way I cut mine and then my piece, it became two. Okay, so if you want to add cups to it, that's bustier, let it have that bustier move. So at this point, you are now going to cut this now, you understand. So you're going to cut. So this is how you are now going to cut. You cut out your bustier pattern. Can you see? So I'll open this again so that we'll take a look at it. That's why I did not cut it all off. So you can see. So you can see at the end of the day, your your wrap blouse is going to have what do you call it? Your wrap blouse is going to have cup, so it's not going to be flat on the chest. So this is how, so you're just going to pad, do everything, and then you will stitch this out. Okay, so guys, and then like I said, the back is, you cut your back also and then add it. So this is how simple and easy this is. Can you see how beautiful this pattern is? So I hope it was helpful to someone. So let me read all of the comments. So like I said, for those of you that are saying we should sew, so we're going to be sewing, we're going to be doing sewing live classes, like I said, weekdays. Okay, so with time I'll get you guys more information. Olani boss said, they say yes, thank you ma, I'm just seeing it now. So okay, no problem. Okay, Chuku, it's bust that's necessary for, no, it's not necessary. Okay, Chuku, it's not necessary. So that was why I did it two ways, you understand? It is not necessary. If you don't want to add buzz that, you don't need to add. It is not necessary. I was just trying to make the tutorial more elaborate, so that is why I added it. So you can just use your normal simple waist that. Okay, so I hope that's clear. Mosima Molope. Okay, I don't know what message was restricted. Faith Odike, say hi. Ngozi Daniel, good evening, Mama. Sure you are good. Just joining now. Okay, thank you. So you can always go back and watch it. You can always go back and watch it. Okay, Kwan Evelyn. Good evening, my dear. I'm watching from Benue State. Oh, thank you so much for joining. Thank you. You say I enjoy your teachings. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Vic S, where are you from? Hi, okay. Now we asking the question. Olani Ibo said, they say good evening, ma. I'm watching from Lagos State. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Those of you that joined this evening. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining. Mosima, thank you so much. I'll see you guys on Thursday by God's grace. Tomorrow, you guys should please help my ministry. I don't know, for the sewing live stream. God will help me, please. So the timing is not going to be a very balanced yet, but please, you guys should just please bear with me. If you come up, you see that we're doing live stream, join. If you cannot join later, you can go back and watch. But time, I'm going to get a good fixed time that our you can see the way our evening on live streams, our time is up after 7 is fixed. So with time, I'm going to get a good time for the sewing classes, and then we're going to fix it and we'll be doing it. Okay, so thank you so much. Molaba, you're watching from Kenya. God bless you all. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Mosima. Thank you. Olani, thank you. God bless you all. Bye.